Pil Sung could no longer bear to see his beloved lover Park Dora being tormented by the villain Gong Jindan. His anger grew deeper and he eventually made a decision. A few days later, Pil Sung met Chairman Gong Jintaek alone. Pil Sung, I am deeply moved by your determination to come to me like this. But as you know, entering our family is never an easy task. Especially Gong Jindan will never let you enter quietly. Pil Sung firmly replied, I am prepared for this, Chairman. No matter what Gong Jindan does, I will not back down. I have a reason to confront him. That night, Gong Jindan was shocked to hear the news that his brother Gong Jintaek had excluded him from the succession and chosen Pil Sung instead. Filled with anger, he headed to Gong Jintaek's office. Gong Jintaek raised his head at the sound of his younger brother entering. Brother, what is this? How can you leave me behind and choose an outsider like him as the successor? Gong Jindan shouted in an enraged voice. Gong Jintaek calmly looked at his brother and replied, Jindan, you have done various things that disappointed me. Your actions within the company have been nothing but disappointing. Pil Sung is capable and honest. That's why I chose him. Gong Jindan couldn't contain his anger and shouted as he left the room. Brother, you are making a big mistake. You will regret it later. Gong Jindan immediately went to his mother, Hong Egyo. Seeing her son enter in anger, she looked at him with worried expression. Jindan, what's wrong? Why are you so angry? Gong Jindan explained the situation to his mother. Mom, brother has excluded me from the succession and chosen someone named Pil Sung. It doesn't make sense. I have worked so hard all this time. Hong Egyo listened to her son's words and filled with deep anger. This is ridiculous. Jindan, we can't just sit still. We must correct this immediately. That night, Hong Egyo informed her lover Jin Sang-gu of the news. Jin Sang-gu's expression became serious upon hearing her words. This is a serious problem, Egyo. We can't be pushed aside like this. Is it time for Gong Jindan to reveal that he is my son? Hong Egyo looked at Jin Sang-gu with a startled expression. No, Sang-gu, that's absolutely not possible. If Jindan finds out that fact, who knows what will happen? It could cause even greater confusion. Jin Sang-gu fell into deep thought. That's true, but we can't just sit still while our son is being pushed aside like this. Hong Egyo calmed Jin Sang-gu down and said, For now, let's step back. I will convince Jindan, so don't rush into anything. With that decision, Jin Sang-gu decided to seek refuge at Sogum-ja's house. Sogum-ja was his former senior and had been kind to Jin Sang-gu. However, Sogum-ja sensed that something was going on between Jin Sang-gu and Hong Egyo when she witnessed them secretly meeting. A few days later, Sogum-ja had a conversation with Jin Sang-gu and accidentally learned that he had a hidden son. Sang-gu, is that son by any chance Gong Jindan? Sogum-ja asked cautiously. Jin Sang-gu looked at her with a surprised expression. How did you know? Yes, that son is Gong Jindan, but he still doesn't know that fact. Sogum-ja fell into deep thought. Sang-gu, is it right to tell Jindan about this fact, or should we keep it between ourselves? Jin Sang-gu pondered deeply and lowered his head. It's better not to say anything for now, but someday he will find out the truth. Afterward, Sogum-ja secretly collected a strand of Gong Jindan's hair and requested a genetic test. A few days later, the test results came out and Sogum-ja was shocked by the results. It was clear that Gong Jindan was Jin Sang-gu's son. Sogum-ja decided to inform Pil Sung of this fact. She went to Pil Sung and handed him the genetic test result. Pil Sung, with this result, you can know who Gong Jindan's father is. Now, it's up to you to decide what to do. Pil Sung accepted the result and read it with a serious expression. He fell into deep contemplation but ultimately decided to distribute this fact to the media in order to protect Park Dora. A few days later, when Gong Jindan's birth secret was revealed to the world, it caused a huge uproar. The first person to be furious was Gong Jintaek's aunt, Gong Da-suk. She turned her back on Hong Egyo and Gong Jindan and kicked them out of the house. Our family has been disgraced because of you. I can't tolerate it anymore. Get out of this house immediately. Her voice was filled with anger and disappointment. Gong Jintaek followed the legal procedures and claimed a huge amount of compensation from Hong Egyo and Gong Jindan. As a result, the two of them went bankrupt and were driven to the streets.